Husson Eagles report brought to you by Dysarts on Broadway in Bangor. You can stop in, show your Husson ID card. You'll receive 10% off your meal, and they are open daily till 8 p.m. Dysarts on Broadway in Bangor, and we will talk some football. Coach Gabby Price of football is going to join us here live, and we'll also get you up to date on their new softball coach on campus, too, for Husson as well. But first, football, and Coach Price joins us on the phone line. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dale.
We were just talking off-air. Practice yesterday was something else with the return to humidity, huh?
It was really, as everybody knows, quite warm. It just seemed to stay there. Well, we practiced there at Husson. It's surrounded by most of the stadium there, and the turf certainly is warm. It's pretty warm there.
Wow. It just kind of sucks all the life out of you there for a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, actually, we only wear full pads one day on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We wear uppers, and yesterday we only practiced an hour and 40 minutes because of that. The young guys, our players, did a great job moving around, but I think they were happy when I said bring it up. So
those words you want to hear, bring it up. So so overall, let's just before we get into this week's games, just touch base on the 33-7 loss down at Hartwick on the road. Just your overall thoughts.
Well, basically, we have to coach much better and we have to play better, Dale. The trip itself was excellent. Whenever you take a party of 88 or 78 on a road, you always have some apprehension. But our players and the staff, they really were great there. The game itself, I thought the kick game was just excellent, really an A+. Defense was probably a B. They did some good things. Certainly the front four were excellent, really, really excellent. The linebackers were excellent. Secondary played well. We just had some plays, and offensively, first half we were good. The second half we just didn't play well. I don't know what it was. We just didn't play well.
What did you think of Hartwick as a team?
Well, Hartwick obviously plays in a good league, and we had seen them on film because they had played an exhibition or scrimmage, I guess you call in college, against RPI, who they really manhandled. It was 42-0 at halftime, at 3, and then they beat Norwich, so feel a little bit better about that.
Mm-hmm.
But their veteran team, their quarterback was just simply outstanding. He seemed unflappable. They didn't run the ball. I don't think they had one run above 10 yards to the last drive with less than 2 or 3 minutes. So they didn't run the ball, and he just threw the ball, and a really big, strong guy. Defensively, they had a lot of older guys. Just seemed to be a little bit quicker than us on Saturday.
And I guess that's a bit of difference with you guys for this year. You're relatively young, right?
Well, we're young and playing experience, Dale. I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, do not. I hope nobody thinks I'm making excuses, because that'd be the last thing I'd do. We just need to play the game. We get guys who are players, young men who are good football players, who just need to play. They need to be in games and see different situations, offensively, defensively, and all that in-kick game. They just need to play the game. They're going to be good players. They are good players. They're wonderful people. They just need to play.
Mm-hmm. And so they get that chance again here on Saturday. You go to Springfield, and you kind of know what they're going to do. What is it? Is it the triple option? What's that run offense they run?
Yes, I actually, if people are familiar, Maine Maritime runs a similar offense, but Springfield's been doing it for 30 years, and I think it's 30 years. I don't know how many years, but he's been there 30 years, close to long, and for several years since we can remember. They're good at it. They're they're older on defense. On offense, defense. They don't have as many seniors, but particularly on offense, they just, each day they know what they're doing, and they just do a great job. Arguably, it's the best Division III in the top 2 in New England. They just have a great tradition. They do a good job. They're well coached, and we know what it is, and our guys are ready for the challenge.
Mm-hmm. How do you mimic something like that in practice to do to work on it defensively?
Well, actually, we have a quarterback who plays for us, Josh Ross, who played it in high school. So he's been prepping on the defense coordinator with all of us, and particularly him. And he's been running. He's done a good job the first 2 days. And we've given him some good looks. We have some good running backs there, and they seem to be excited. So the look team's actually done a great job.
Coach, when you prepare for a team like Springfield with that triple option, how hard is it to defend that in the sense that you know they're going to chew up a lot of the clock and they just kind of keep chipping away? How hard is it to not get frustrated when you're out there on defense?
Well, I'm frustrated about anything when they gain an inch, but don't use me with an example. I'm really the wrong guy. I'm way off in many areas here when it comes to these kind of things. But certainly it makes every offensive possession very important, and I think that's the thing that we're stressing, just to be patient on offense, and just we got to move the ball and hold on the ball and move the sticks and get first downs. But they're going to chew up yardage they have. I don't think there's any question offensively against anybody that played. They're never not too far. They don't go backwards too often offensively. But that's just important for our offense, particularly against their defense. Just once again, not to reiterate or be redundant here, is to move the ball against them.
Yeah, in other words, it kind of works in reverse. If you can sustain offense, you keep their triple option stuff off the field, right?
Exactly right, Dale. It's the old adage that if you have the ball, they really can't score. So we'd like to have the ball, and it's a big test for us. We just need to get better on offense.
Mm-hmm. Health-wise, Coach, how did you come out of the first game?
Well, pretty good. I think we're going to lose a couple of defensive players who won't be out for the season, just 2 weeks. Our cornerback and a defensive lineman who really played great, Ian Palmer. And offensively, it looks like we're in pretty good shape. Maybe one of our captains, running back, Byron. We'll see today. They have to practice today in order to play, so we'll make an assessment at that point. But by and large, outside of the trip and the game itself, and our guys had a good day off on Sunday, and Monday we don't do much. We lift, and so they looked a little bit better yesterday, and today. Yesterday looked a lot better, and today I think they'll be just right.
And part of it all, of course, too, sometimes we all forget from afar that they actually have classes they got to go to and study and all of that stuff. So, and the whole semester thing is kind of kicking in at this stage, too, right?
You're exactly right, Dale. I talked to one of our players yesterday, Coach, I just get killed in homework. I said, oh. But obviously that's part of it, and we talked to them about managing their time, and if they're practicing, I don't know, it's 3 hours, 4 days a week, 12 hours, that's out of the school day with meetings and that they do have some time. They just have to plan better. And I think the start of school, a lot of people stay up later and socialize, which they should be doing. It's a new thing, and it's always exciting the school year. But they'll settle in here like all college students and manage their time better.
And I'll bet you're looking forward to getting a home opener there next week, right?
Well, we certainly are, Dale. I think we're home for a month at that point. We get a home game and then a bye, then a home game, and then we have the whole week before we go on the road again. So certainly I think it'd be great to settle in. That's why we knew this stretch was going to be tough. We just got to hang in there, play the way we know how to play, and just the same thing we always say, play hard and have fun. We're excited about our players. We see great potential in them. We just, obviously, the key is performance.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, Coach, thanks very much for taking some time to join us here this morning. Good luck down at Springfield, and we'll talk to you again there next week.
Well, I appreciate it, Dale. You and Clem both, Roy. Appreciate all you do.
Thank you. That's Coach Gabby Price of the Husson Eagles as they take to the road down to Springfield, Massachusetts to play there. And then, as he mentioned, they're back home next Saturday. That's a game against Alfred State. This is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And that will be our first broadcast of Husson Eagles football. We'll have that for you at noontime. 12 o'clock noon on the Saturday, the 21st. Our Husson Eagles report is brought to you by Dysarts on Broadway in Bangor. You can stop in, show your Husson ID card. You'll receive 10% off your meal. And Dysarts is located on Broadway in Bangor. Come eat. Hey, before we step away on the Husson scene, too, Clem, you had a chance to attend the press conference this week. It's been a busy week on the Husson campus because they've introduced their new softball coach to replace Amanda Bourgoin, who stepped away, and she was so successful, and sounds like they have somebody else that has a lot of credentials to coach softball.
Yeah, Christy Hawkins is taking over as the head coach, and some people who follow softball may be familiar with her. She is originally from Maine, played at Deering High School, and then at the University of Maine, where she helped the Black Bears win an America East Championship, get into the NCAA tournament, and for the last 6 years has been out in Colorado School for the Mines, and she's been she was the first 3 years was an assistant, the last 3 years as their head coach, and won the conference regular season championship the last 3 years. So she takes over now, and I had a chance to talk with her about taking over this program and everything that comes along with it.
I think it's definitely one of the premier teams in the state. Its record and what it's done so far speaks for itself. So I'm excited to get quality athletes in here and continue the winning success that they've had in the past.
What about taking over a program that has won 5 conference championships in a row? It's a little bit daunting, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little intimidating, but, I've experienced a lot of success in my career in Colorado, so, I like to win, and I want to continue what they've done here so far and, build off their tournament win last year. I think that was great for them, and having that confidence and such a strong core group of people returning from last year is really going to help us this year.
Does it help the fact that they've won those championships and have been in the NCAA tournament all these years? Do you think from a name recognition standpoint you can go into homes and people know what Husson softball is all about?
Oh, absolutely. I think the program, what it's done speaks for itself. When you talk Husson softball, you talk about how they've won so many conference titles consecutively, and, I want to build off of that, and I want to bring the best kids in that I can. So, I'll definitely use that in my recruiting.
Christy Hawkins, the new head softball coach at Husson University, and I guess if you're going to take over a program, it doesn't necessarily hurt to take over one that has had the success that they have had. She has a tremendous facility to play in, and certainly people around here know Husson softball.
That was the other thing I was going to say, too, is that she comes to a place that's got a beautiful softball complex there. They just put up that press box and the bleachers, and they're still doing more work on that whole area. That softball complex is beautiful.
I would say it's probably the best softball facility in the state. I mean, with that new press box and the new seating that they've put in and everything, it really is a nice complex.
And you feel like you're right on top of everything too when you go to the game. And you're nice and close to the action, and it's a great scene there. So there you go, a little check on softball and football here on our Coaches Report, Husson Eagles Report, brought to you by Dysarts on Broadway